When I moved to this quiet little town, I thought I'd left all the chaos behind. My new neighbor, an elderly woman named Mrs. Whitaker, seemed like the perfect welcome committee. She invited me over for dinner, her eyes twinkling with kindness, and I accepted, grateful for the warmth and company. Her home was filled with the comforting aroma of homemade stew, and as we ate, she shared stories of the town's history, her voice a soothing lullaby against the backdrop of a crackling fireplace. I left feeling content, a sense of belonging blooming in my chest. But that feeling was short-lived. Returning to my doorstep, I noticed an envelope tucked under my welcome mat. It was an ornate invitation, the kind you might receive for a wedding, but as I read the words, my blood ran cold. "You are cordially invited to the funeral of my name." The date was set for the following day. I laughed it off as a prank, albeit a tasteless one. But as night fell, unease settled over me like a thick fog. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched, and shadows seemed to dance just beyond the corners of my vision. The next morning, the town seemed to have undergone a transformation. People I passed on the street offered solemn nods, as if in mourning, and the newspaper headlines screamed my name, declaring my untimely death. Panic clawed at my throat as I stumbled back to Mrs. Whitaker's house, desperate for answers. But when I arrived, her home was empty, dust covering surfaces as if it had been abandoned for years. The air inside was thick with the scent of decay, and the once welcoming space now felt like a tomb. In a final act of desperation, I fled to the church, hoping to find solace or at least someone who could explain the nightmare I was living. Instead, I found a gathering of townspeople, all dressed in black, sitting in silent anticipation. And there, at the front, was an open casket. My heart pounded as I approached, dread pulling in my stomach. Inside lay my own lifeless body, a serene expression on its face, as if it knew a secret I hadn't yet discovered. As the doors of the church closed behind me, I realized the truth. I was the ghost haunting this town, a mere spectator to my own demise, trapped in a loop of my final day.